Good evening, people of the world. This is the sixth film on the topic of love and hate, inspired by the book of First John. I'm going to read three passages of scripture in the New Testament of the Christian Bible before I talk a little bit. Galatians chapter 5, verses 16. Actually, it's Galatians chapter 5, verse 14 and 15. Galatians chapter 5, verses 14 and 15. The entire law is summed up in a single command: love your neighbor as yourself. If you keep on biting and devouring each other, watch out, or you will be destroyed by each other. And James chapter 4, beginning at verse 1 through 3. James chapter 4, verses 1 through 3. What causes fights and quarrels among you? Don't they come from your desires that battle within you? You want something, but don't get it. You kill and covet, but you cannot have what you want. You quarrel and fight. You do not have because you do not ask God. When you ask, you do not receive because you ask with wrong motives, that you may spend what you get on your pleasures. And Matthew chapter 12, verse 25. Matthew chapter 12, verse 25. Jesus knew their thoughts and said to them, every kingdom divided against itself will be ruined, and every city or household divided against itself will not stand. So it's very important that we have right motives. God knows our thoughts, and God knows the motives inside us. The most important point to make out of all these passages is we need to stop destroying each other with our words and our actions. And also, people want things. Yeah, we want things and we need things, but somehow we destroy one another because we want things. But there's no need to destroy one another to have something that we need and or want, because we can ask God in prayer and God will give us what we need. Of course, this writer also gives an answer to why we don't have answered prayer. We don't have answered prayers because when we ask God for something, we ask with wrong motives. And hate is a bad motive. And fear is a bad motive. God gives to those who ask in faith and not fear. And God gives to those who have love in their heart. But if someone's heart's full of fear and someone's heart's full of hate, they will suffer. So fear and hatred bring suffering upon ourselves, and fear and hatred bring suffering upon the world. The fear and hatred that's within us not only causes ourselves problems, but it causes everyone else a problem too. And we need to begin to empty ourselves of negativity. We need to empty ourselves of being judgmental. We need to empty ourselves of a judgmental attitude towards others. We need to empty ourselves of fear towards others. And people become fearful and full of hate when change is needed, especially if their sense of power is threatened, their sense of accomplishment, their sense of wealth and riches is threatened. They will become fearful and full of hatred to keep others back. But we have to empty ourselves of hatred towards other people. We have to empty ourselves of a judgmental fear of other people. And we need to allow ourselves to be filled with love towards people. We must be filled with love towards our fellow man, regardless of their faith, their skin color, their sexual orientation, their gender identity, their economic status, their religion, their disability. We have to empty ourselves of all those prejudices and allow the Spirit of God to fill us with love for our fellow man. And then we will begin to enjoy the gifts of God and we'll receive answers to our prayers.